Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome to Populous the Beginning. Now this game is old, alright? I started playing this game originally when I was a teenager. It was the second real-time strategy game that I ever played. The first one being Knights and Merchants, also a really good game. But I've had trouble playing this game on modern systems for ages, until today when I found out about the Multiverse launcher. As you can see, that has been updated quite recently even. Now this basically allows you to have a proper resolution for the game. It makes it work and run on modern systems. They provide patches there as well. Primarily for multiplayer, because this game does still have an active multiplayer community, which is kind of crazy considering how old this game is. But for myself, I'm not hugely interested in the multiplayer. What I am interested in is the single player campaign. Now, this game does have an expansion pack, but it is a separate campaign. It doesn't bolt on to the original. So we have one original campaign, then we have the expansion campaign, and then there are a ton of custom fan-made campaigns as well. But anyway, let's get started. Let's enjoy this intro cinematic, because it is awesome. We will skip the tutorial.
In the beginning, there was darkness. Then from the darkness came the manna. And with the manna, the visions. We were not alone. There were other worlds, other tribes, moving through the heavens like a plague. They would destroy us. Alone in the tribe, I possessed the second sight. The manna flowed through me like fire, unleashing the magic within. The ancient legends had foretold my coming. I was the one destined to lead. The chosen one. The shaman. The time for peace was behind us. Now was the time for war! We would face powerful magic. The fury of the elements. Some would live, many would die. But with faith and courage, we would destroy our enemies. And I would become a god.
Right, so that sets the game up pretty damn well, I would say. So we play as a tribe. We have a lot of missions ahead of us, as you can see. And basically we play as the shaman, and it is our goal to become a god. Now, this is the third game in the Populous series. So originally you had Populous 1, Populous 2, you know, as you would expect. Then comes Populous the Beginning, which we are playing right here. And I haven't played the original two games, but I know that this one kind of departed from the original. Like in the original two games, you were already God, and there was a lot of land manipulation involved. This game also has that, but they basically went into a more regular real-time strategy direction for this game. So some people were not too happy with that. Other people really enjoyed this game for what it was, and some people like me just came in only playing Populous for the first time with this game and just absolutely loving it. This is one of the most unique real-time strategy games out there, and it is insane to me that we haven't seen an imitation, like another game trying to do what this game did. We've certainly seen that for Populous 1 and 2, to really bad results, I would say. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the first map. The journey begins. Right, so here the proper resolution actually kicks in. Right now we are at 1980 times, 1920 times 1080, that's it. This game does suffer from the fact that, like basically what some other old games suffer from as well, where they have like the main menu stuck in a certain resolution and you cannot change it no matter what you do. But the actual in-game graphics, of course, they do allow you to play in different resolutions, so that's good. Let me just, I'll be right back. Alright, so we're in the game, and right off the bat you might notice something very peculiar about this, and that's that the map is spherical. Right, so this is not something that has been done a lot of times before, but basically this is probably the first time it's been done before, and probably the only time afterwards has been Planetary Annihilation, and they basically pumped it up to be this big feature, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but you know, Populous at the beginning did it first, so. But yeah, what's kind of interesting is that we can move across the entire planet, as you would expect. So that already, you know, you can see things on the horizon right there. We see this enemy Brave over on the edge of the world. But anyway, let's have a look. I have created my reincarnation site, and the settlement is nearly complete. Alright, so we have a flyby mode. Now don't be discouraged by the frame rate here. It is set to 30 FPS, but the actual game will run in 60. For some reason, the flybys are capped to 30. Now there is a patch, a fan-made patch, 1.5, that basically fixes this and allows it to run at 60 frames per second. But that is primarily multiplayer focused, and since I mostly just want to play the single player campaign, I have not activated it. Anyway, so, yeah. Another peculiar or interesting fact about this game is that there are basically only two resources. One of them is mana, which we have a bar for right here. Mana is generated by our population. So the more people we have, the more mana is generated, and it is even better if our population is inside of these houses or is working, is doing something of benefit. They will generate more mana if they are. So let's put these guys to use. We'll have a blueprint to build a hut, and we'll have these guys build another hut over here. Now these huts generate mana, as said. They also generate new population, and we have a population bar over here. It says we can currently have 11 followers, so over time these huts will produce new people for us up to our limit. But what is this mana actually used for? Well, we can cast spells. Our shaman here has a lot of magical abilities, which you will already have seen in the cutscene. Right now she only knows the one, which is Blast. Basically we can throw a fireball at any place within this circle, so just like that. And as you can see, now there is this bar that starts filling up, and once this bar is completely filled up, we will get another charge of Blast. So the more people we have, the faster this process will be, and Blast is actually the cheapest option of all. So later on we will get a lot more spells, and some of them, like the volcano, are extremely expensive. Right, your settlement is thriving, shaman. Braves resting in huts are one way of creating mana. Mana gives you the power to cast spells and train followers. Alright, so we've also finished building some houses, and we can actually make sure that these are filled up entirely. Now, I've also set my shaman to worship at this stone head. Doing so will give us access to a specific bonus that is tied to that particular shaman's, or to that particular stone head. Alright, he doesn't fit in there, he will fit in there. Now what we got from this is actually a land bridge spell. You have received a single shot land bridge spell. Use it to create a path from where your shaman stands to the land on which it is cast. cast it over water to create a causeway. So that is another really awesome thing about Populous the Beginning, is we have terrain deformation, real terrain deformation. We can sink away these areas. She can go indefinitely, but we can only store up to 4 charges of this. Go away. So yeah, this one, as you might notice, is gray. That's not because it's a different type of spell, it is because it is a temporary spell that we will not have permanent access to until we go to one of these knowledge vaults. Once we do that, we will be able to unlock something permanently. This one will hold the warrior's hut. So we can actually go ahead and do this. Let me make a land bridge right here. Just like that. We created land out of nothing. Now we have an enemy brave over here, but let's get rid of that one really quick with a blast. And then we can get access to the warrior's hut, because we have some spare people right now. Another interesting aspect to this resource mechanic, we had mana, like I said. Another resource obviously is wood. You might have noticed these guys running over to the trees and taking wood from them. Now what is interesting is that this will regrow to be bigger. Alright, so we got access to the warrior's hut. And this will be permanently unlocked as well. But anyway, you might notice now this tree disappeared. And unfortunately, I don't think that tree will grow back again. So there is a limit to the amount of things you can build if you expand too quickly. And if you are a little bit more patient, these trees will regrow. They will grow bigger again. Now, when we click on these houses, we will see 2 bars. We see a red bar and a green bar. The green bar indicates basically the time it takes for new braves to pop up. And the red bar indicates when a house is ready for building or for upgrading, because these houses will actually be upgraded at least twice. At the start, like this one, they will only hold 3 braves, but once they get upgraded, they can hold 4. If they're upgraded again, they'll hold 5. Meanwhile though, we have this warrior's hut, so let's go ahead and have these guys build it. Meanwhile, our shaman can go ahead and worship this stone head for another bonus. This is the early map, of course. This is there's no way for the enemy to get to us until we make a land bridge. So we are perfectly safe to just kind of explore our buildings, look at what everything does, and train up some people, things like that. You can go in there, you guys can go in there. I like to keep these houses full. There's not necessarily an immediate bonus because I'm not charging anything. But yeah, you might notice here, lightning. We just unlocked a lightning. Alright, so this is an older message. You've stolen the warrior training hut. Yep. And then we have a lightning. The lightning spell is a devastating weapon and much more powerful than blast. It kills enemy followers and sets fire to trees and buildings. Now, one really cool thing about this is that you can also use it to snipe the enemy shaman, because every opponent will have a shaman. Now, you might notice that this one doesn't have a reincarnation circle. So if this shaman dies, she'll be gone for good. If our shaman dies, she will come back. So this early map is extremely forgiving. There's not much of a difficulty here. We have all the time we need to build up a strong military force. But there's not much need for it. We'll train up a couple of warriors and we'll leave it at that. Right. Another thing, warriors, or actually the training of our population, also will take up some mana. So it's a little bit, so we might not see it by putting these people in here. But if we are generating a new spell, you will see an effect then. Because then we have 2 things going on. We don't have the population required to run everything at max efficiency, basically. Alright, so we're getting some warriors. What we can also do is we can actually set a campfire or a guard post. It's kind of interesting. We can put one right there. And that in itself does not do anything, except we can get our warriors to patrol around it. So we can use this to block off a choke point. It will set them to work as well, so it'll generate more mana when doing so. Now, one interesting thing here as well is that when our shaman is standing close to these warriors, they will start worshipping her as well. The shaman is the lifeblood of the tribe. There we go. These guys know their place. He's just kind of looking, it's like, what are you guys doing? Oh, she's right there. Oh, crap. So, yeah. Got a couple of warriors. We'll get our shaman to go over as well. Now what's kind of cool is if you get a group together and you'll send them off somewhere, the game will think they're going off to war, so they'll start doing the battle cry basically. Yeah, look at this. We have a house that will now hold up to 5 people. This one also holds up to 5 people. And this is basically the max amount of people we could get without building more houses. Right now we could have a total of 33. Now this first map is not the most interesting one because of course, you know, there's not much going on. So we'll go quickly through this and then we'll probably play mission 2 and mission 3 as well. So otherwise this video will be very short. Yeah, let us go ahead and cast some lightning. First of all, we need to get rid of that shaman. She won't do much. We'll cast it on this house and we'll cast it on the warrior's hut. And our warriors immediately go off to war. There we go. Now another really cool thing is actually you can blast these people off into the water and they'll die. There's no swimming for these people. They're just going to die. We can also burn trees away from the enemy so they have fewer resources to... Ooh, we almost died there. I think someone got close to my shaman and basically knocked her down. Now the way to win here is by killing all the followers of this tribe. We'll be done pretty soon. Now one of the really cool things, by the way, is when they destroy these buildings, you basically see them tear it apart. You know, you see these things just getting ripped off. It's really cool. And of course, as you might notice, these guys get ecstatic when we win as well. These guys are just going nuts, right? And look at that. We have a little victory dance. These guys are just kind of walking around. And also the footpath that they're leaving behind because they're all walking along the same trail, basically. It's just... Oh man, this game is so cool. And like I said earlier, this is the second RTS I ever played. And it's just amazing. Alright, so we took 9.5 minutes. Didn't need to take that long, but I need to explain a little bit. But let's continue on to scenario 2, Night Falls. Alright. I'll probably do a playthrough for the whole campaign here, because it's just super cool. And here you might also notice our mana production not being up to snuff. We are generating that last blast spell. We don't have the people to do it at full speed. Now, we must face the Matak tribe. I sense many warriors ready to stand against us. In my vision, we are aided by magic from a stone head. That stone head. There must be a way to reach it. Okay, so flyby mode. As you can see, it's on this little island. But we did not unlock the ability to permanently have access to Land Bridge. So, you know, there's another way that we can get to it, and that is by worshipping that totem pole that was over here. And we also have another knowledge vault, or vault of knowledge, I guess. And that's it. Pretty basic, easy map. Nothing too exciting. We'll get some huts going. We'll get some people in this hut as well. We need 4 people in there. No, she doesn't need to be in here. We'll send her the other way. But we'll get maximum generation out of this hut. These 3 will start making the next. 4 actually will start making the next. And these guys are actually populating and getting some more people to work for us. Now we could probably speed this up. We have a lot of people working on 1 hut. We'll take 2. We'll send it off to this plot. Now another really cool thing is, like, you know, you have terrain deformation, but it even includes this moment where they start making a building or a house. This ground is not flat, so now they're just jumping around on top of it to flatten it. You can actually see the deformation in the terrain here. So you're just kind of working away until it's completely flat before bringing over wood and then start hammering everything into place. It's super cool. Now, of course, we did permanently unlock the warrior training hut. We'll tuck that into the back there. You'll help with that. We'll have 3 people on this hut, and everyone else that gets born from this point forward is going to help on the training hut. Now, our shaman can go off to our totem pole, and that will actually give us access to this stone head. I know quite a bit now because I have played these first few missions countless of times in my life, but eventually I'm going to run into a point where I don't remember what all the missions are and what to expect from them. So that is going to be a little bit more interesting, but for now this will suffice in basically introducing the game a little bit better. But there are some really cool mechanics at play. Right now it's very basic, very toned down, but it's going to get super awesome later on. You can call in tornadoes, you can call in volcanoes, earthquakes, you can erode the land and have it sink into the sea. You can bring forth an angel of death, the flying dragon thing that you saw in the cutscene earlier. Just really cool stuff all around. Alright, now we can, yeah, I'll leave my shaman to actually protect that. I would probably take 2 from this, send them over to the stone head to worship it. This thing is almost done, they don't need the extra help. The last bit of wood is brought over, and right there we have our finished warrior training hut. Now we have 5 people, we'll send 3 to become warriors. And then we'll have 2 to build another hut. And they can build a hut right about there. Alright, we'll put in a little camp. Or a guard post, actually. These guys can go ahead and patrol around it. We'll have the shaman to back them up. Oh, look at that, we got access to the tornado. Now, we can have a maximum of 3 and we will get them. So, use the tornado spell to destroy the enemy and their buildings before they have a chance to react. Right, so we have a guard tower up here, which is blocking our way into the camp. They have a couple of houses up to their max level, so there will be 5 people in here. There's 2 in front. There are some people in here as well, and some people standing out in front. They have their warrior training huts. Warriors patrolling around the back here. Another brave, and then the shaman is in this guard tower at the very end. Alright, so we'll have these guys, or that guy, actually, single, also go over and join that, patrol. Now, there's a slightly annoying tendency for these guys to not automatically fill up the house completely, which is kind of bothering me. It requires a bit of micromanagement, and it's also triggering my OCD, I guess. Alright, these guys finished. They can also become warriors. We'll get a couple of more before making our push. We'll get all of these guys into the hut. The next guy that is born and comes out can become a warrior as well. Now, this hut is going to get upgraded, and these 2 huts are going to get upgraded once each as well. So we're good to go for now. Now, this hut, or this guard tower, actually only holds 1 warrior, and we have some people nearby, but these guys could join the fight if we move over here, so I do want those extra warriors to back me up here. 6 might be okay for a little while, but let's make at least 2 or 3 more. Some people are still being born, so we can easily do it. 1 more guy will join us. He'll become a warrior as well. We'll get a total of right about 9, I guess, and then we'll move in for the attack. Because again, this is one of those early, pretty simple maps. Not many interesting things happening right here. Basically, they're an introduction. But we'll show off the tornado as well. That's a really cool thing. Like, even if the tornado is something you unlock permanently much later in the campaign, they allow you to play with these powerful tools pretty early on. You get to experience them and then get you excited to keep playing and permanently unlock it, because they're powerful. These things can rip a building apart in its entirety. Now, let's actually have our army here take care of this guard tower. We'll have our shaman move in to back up. But these guys should not have a chance. Oh, they have some backup as well. So there's going to be a little brawl here. And I just love watching these little fights as well. They're just kicking each other, hitting each other in the face. They're getting dizzy. You know, like they're ganging up on each other. And then when they finally win the fight, they just start ripping that tower apart. This is super funny to watch. And of course, the dead bodies, they go up into heaven. You know, their souls basically go up into the sky. Super cool to watch. Now we'll get the occupants out of this house as well. Some more backup coming in. We could deal with this as well a little bit. This warrior is being overwhelmed by 3 separate braves. They might have a shot at killing him. And of course I want to spend my mana a little bit as well. Alright, so these guys are going to go ahead and protect my shaman while she goes to this Vault of Knowledge to get the Swarm. The Swarm is really cool and useful. Alright, these guys, let's see how many people can fit in there. You can fit in here, and you can become a warrior. Then we have 4 full houses. You'll become a warrior. Alright, with that, now we have access to one single swarm, but we can turn this on by right-clicking on it, and as you can see, we need more mana generation. We are not getting enough done. We'll grab this. You can go ahead and start working on that. And of course, it doesn't help that we are actually training units here as well. But now that they're done, we're still not at maximum efficiency. Alright, we've got some warriors coming over. But my guys are moving in to intercept, so nothing too worrying. Let's go ahead and cast some tornadoes though. Voilà. I really like as well the fact that every spell in the game actually has this unique call that is being issued. Alright. These guys are kind of knocked silly already. So we should capitalize on that. There you go, get rid of that last building. Now if we get overwhelmed, we can use the Swarm. And this is really cool. This completely upsets these guys. It starts making them panic, you know, and we are actually under the influence of the same right here. It is also really cool. The tornado, when it gets onto water, you can actually see the water being sucked up into it. Yeah, look at these. These guys are just all over the place right now. We can actually shift click to select all of them. And now we can easily regroup all of them together because they were scattered all over the place. We'll get these last 2 remaining guys here as well. My guy is being overwhelmed. Actually, he's a total boss. He's a trooper. Look at that. He's just knocking out 3 of these guys. Now let's also see if we can get some guys to kill the shaman here. These other guys just kind of providing the distraction for them to move in. We'll go ahead and get these guys to destroy that building, but we already managed to kill absolutely everyone on this map. So it is time to party once again. This is so fun to watch these guys just running around. And if, you know, the funny thing as well is like you have these guys, they're usually too few people to actually start doing the dance, you know, but once you get to your town, there's a lot more people because they're in close proximity and they have a much better chance of starting to do the dance around, like the snake thingy, whatever it's called. Anyway, night falls, completed, 10 minutes. One more mission should do for this episode, and then we will have been playing for quite some time. So, Crisis of Faith, here we go. I have had a disturbing vision. The Chumara tribe turned my own followers against me when I attacked. I must find a way to reach their Vault of Knowledge and learn how to use this power against them. Yeah, this is the mission where we get access to preachers for the first time. You know, what good is it if I'm a god, if no one believes? We need preachers to turn people to my cause. And with this, we have another Vault of Knowledge, which will permanently unlock the preacher's house, I guess. The preacher's hut, whatever it's called. I don't know quite yet. Another really cool thing to watch here is that the Chumara are actually building up their own city at the same time as we are building up ours. So we should probably also turn off one of these, because our mana production is terrible. We'll turn off this. This is a little bit better. And then it's time to start building. We'll get 3 guys to move into that hut because it's empty. These guys will start making that hut. We'll have these guys build another hut. These guys, they kind of auto select a job, which is actually really useful, but sometimes you just might want to split them up, you know. We'll send our shaman forward. Now we have a lot of wild men here as well. This is kind of a unique thing as well. We have they're basically natives to this planet. They don't believe in us, they don't belong to us, but we can use the convert spell to make them ours. Now, of course, we haven't had access to the convert spell yet. We'll get it later though. So no worries there. And I just love watching these guys go about their business, just stamping on the ground, you know, flattening the earth, bringing over the wood, just building everything, like hammering everything into place. It is super enjoyable to watch. There's like a couple of things here that the game does that is just very immersive, really, for such an old game especially. So we'll worship this totem pole. Now, you might wonder how powerful priests can be in this game. And they can be incredibly powerful. Look at this, by the way, the terrain deformation, you know, is super cool. And since these guys haven't really built out this way yet, my shaman should be able to just get this uncontested. But how powerful a priest can be? Very powerful. One single priest can basically convert everyone in this town, unless it is stopped by another priest. Because priests don't influence each other. But yeah, they will definitely convert everyone and as many people as possible. Like, all of these guys could be standing in front of one priest and just be converted one by one. It is incredibly powerful. Now we do need people to be in these huts before they start having the desire to upgrade. So that is one thing to keep in mind. We'll get a warrior hut to go up here. And these guys already want to upgrade. Alright, our shaman is almost in, and there we go. We have access to our very own... what is it called? We'll get her to come back. There we go, she's going the right way. You've stolen the knowledge of the temple. There we go, temple. From the enemy. Build one to train preachers who can convert the enemy to your tribe. Awesome. Alright, so once this is done, first thing on the agenda, most definitely, is to build that temple. Of course, we do still need to make sure that we have some guys generating mana for us as well. And all of these guys to go ahead and go in that hut. If they don't fit, they're going to come back out. So I can just select him and put him to work over there. And then we can put our temple right there, in the back of the settlement. Oh, look at these guys. These guys are expanding quite harshly as well. They have that general guard tower, that guard tower in the middle. But she's not making use of it. She's just kind of guarding the entrance. And we have a single preacher over here guarding this entrance as well. Now, they don't affect the wildmen, but they would most definitely affect my guys. So I don't want to send them over there. Well, these guys can be a super big bonus to your early game. If you get your convert spell, you can just convert as many of them as possible, even if you don't have the capacity for them in terms of houses, you know. There we go, got everyone in. These three guys can go in, that guy can go in. These guys should produce, or almost produced a guy, or already produced it, and I already put him in when one guy disappeared, I guess. It's kind of triggering me. This is one thing that just keeps distracting me. It's like, are my houses full? Because these little bursts, like this indicates that they're not fully productive, right? Those little bursts of smoke. This one is full, and you can see that by the smoke that is constantly coming out. But like now, he's like, what's wrong? Oh, he's just going for wood to upgrade the house, you know? This is me being weird about things, I guess. But yeah. Now we could go ahead and grab our shaman, and we could try to get rid of this preacher by blasting it into the water. Put it right next to it, close enough to throw it, but apparently that was not quite what we needed. Let's try it again. This might be more or less random, the way this preacher goes. Let's try it directed. There we go. Ooh, we killed a wild man as well. Now, I just created an entrance for my warriors to move in and kill the shaman. Of course, there will be backup, you know, and this time the shaman can come back from the reincarnation circle. It's going to take a little while, but it can happen. Alright, we'll get a priest. A preacher. Come on, people. Fill these houses, damn it. There we go. That's what we needed. And we'll get some warriors trained up as well. Alright. And we have our first priest. Now it's super cool to listen to these guys preach as well, because they have all of these little things they say. It doesn't make any sense, it's all gibberish, but you know, it's just super cool to listen to. I enjoy it a lot. Alright, let's go ahead and set up a guard post right there. We'll get our 2 warriors to go ahead, and we'll send our preacher around the back. And we'll watch as this one preacher is just going to cause mayhem across this entire place. Now we could train up a reserve preacher to just stand in front of the choke, but we are probably not going to need it. I don't think they even have a preacher at this point anymore. There's no one in the guard tower. I don't see any preachers standing around, so that is just really good. We'll get some people to convert over here. And I mean, I've played this so much at the same time as a friend of mine that we remembered all of the stuff this guy says, you know, and we just sometimes randomly just blurt it out. I was like, Kondeyo, Santaya. It's just... this takes a little while, and of course the shaman could come in and blast her away, or blast him away with a well, blast. A fireball, essentially. But look at that, this first guy has converted. And he's starting to rip apart the building he just created. Now, this guy notices, he's coming over, he's not happy. And actually, this guy is too busy fighting to actually be converted right now. But if our guy wins, then this guy is going to attack the preacher, and then it's going to be converted. And it looks actually like our guy is going to win anyway. Look at that. You can see their health as well, by the way. At least like your own guys. Come here. Go to the back here. This takes some time, man. This it's nothing to be sneezed at, really. Alright, you will go right there. Again, people are leaving their houses unoccupied or partially unoccupied, and it's just making me nuts. Alright. Now, that was a counterattack, but our priest was there to convert them and take them away from the enemy. Look at that, we have some more converts, and they're starting to rip apart the settlement. Ooh, just in time. Actually, you do need to stop walking in time, I think, because if you just move him around, he's going to get in trouble. Like, they can still close the distance and, you know, get killed, basically. But, ooh. They're killing their own people though, like this is not bad, like it's a blue guy, but like they were enemies just before, so don't particularly care about losing them, right? Look at that, we have some converts. We'll send them over to be trained as warriors. We're still getting that other brave. And look at that. Slowly but surely, even if our guys get killed, we'll take control of these guys one by one. No problem. Just one preacher doing the work of the entire tribe. This is brilliant. Alright, got some guys in there. This guy is still working away. Look at that. Slowly but surely, it seems we will be getting the upper hand. No, not really. We're converting them too slow. So they'll be picked off by their own people. They'll just get surrounded and knocked about. We get some backup every once in a while, but it's not enough. The timing of it is just wrong. Alright, so now we are getting some more people to help out. Let's get this guy to go over here and help. There we go. Alright, we'll get another hut right there. Some more warriors. We don't even need our shaman here, man. Look at that. Still losing out on the fight. We're still getting outnumbered, but it doesn't matter. They're still losing, guys. And of course, they're being reborn, so a dedicated attack would definitely help. But Let's see if we can actually get our shaman to go in and help. We can take care of that shaman. We can go into a little fireball fight here. And then we'll get another preacher to come in. Now, so far that these guys are not really active. Look at Maractor. This one is just not doing anything, and there she goes down the water. You should move back a little bit for sure. I don't know how many people are in here actually at the moment. Ah, there they go. Yep, coming from all sides. This one is also still just converting away. And still they're being outnumbered. But this time here, we will get the upper hand. And with that said, let's go ahead and make sure they cannot get priests of their own. Our shaman can actually help with tearing these buildings apart as well. It's not really necessary, but we'll get some guys to go ahead and destroy this guard tower. Our warriors are coming in. She just comes back and just doesn't do anything. That is weird. That seems like a bit of a bug. That should not be happening. Now we could go do swarm here, but swarm will actually distract from these guys as well. Now this shaman is just really not doing anything, which is weird because they would originally. Now there is one cool thing that if you kill an enemy shaman, she's going to basically send up a bunch of mana in the sky and basically supercharge your production. There we go. Look at that. Alright. That's probably the last guy. Yep. Killed him before the shaman could come back. And with that, the reincarnation circle just goes back down into the sky. Or into the ground, actually. Don't know what I was saying there, but that was the power of the priest at work, really. Just super, super, super useful. Let's have a look at our town over here. Everyone just partying their hearts out. Alright, with that, this mission is done as well. Some statistics I'm not going to be looking at, but for now I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.